So, have you been going to the forest for meditation?
Yeah, well, I went yesterday and today. It's so lush. Like a jungle. So green.
Wow.
The sun barely penetrates down to the bottom. And it's just, layers and layers of leaves. And half an hour just goes by so quick. I wish I could be there like for 3 hours in the mornings. It's so
Yeah,
beautiful. Uh,
amazing.
I was reading that Catholic guy I was telling you about, Thomas Keating, that he has a method of prayer. He calls it centering prayer, where he recommends to people that are, sit and if their mind gets distracted, to bring themselves back to um, awareness through the use of a word. Just use a word to center them again.
Yeah.
And I chose the word already as a nod to
Yeah.
Nkosi. And it's really nice. It really works. It's a really powerful word where it leaves your
Yeah, it
consciousness.
is. Yeah, it is because there's only everything. There's only everything. So this discussion, talking, thinking, wondering, excitement, everything is this already. So this can never really be known. It can never be understood because it's everything. Nobody can know everything because even what seems to be somebody is part of everything. So it's just everything and it's beautiful. Every expression, every thought, every sensation is just everything. It's just this. Question arising, um, not getting it, giving up or not giving up. It's just wholeness appearing as that already. So no one can ever be misled here. Well, there's already no one. Any word appearing in this is just this. So somebody may say, oh, but this is misleading. I can't get this. Mm. Uh, uh, Same words are always getting repeated. You know, it's also what is appearing is that. So any comment, any discussion, it's everything. It's just it. So we may talk about anything. It doesn't really matter. There is already nowhere to get to. Nothing needs to be done for this to be what it is. There's no reaching this.
There's no
There's
what?
already reaching this.
Reaching.
This can never be reached because it's everything. It's already here. So
You don't
what
get
seems to be
afraid,
an
do you?
individual now,
And you don't get riddled
there's
with
nobody
desire.
here.
There's nobody there.
Exactly. To be afraid or not afraid.
We go about our lives, our minds spin, and your mind spins too, right? I know it does, but
Mm.
maybe not as fast. That's the wrong word, but as it spins, we get caught up sometimes in it. Sometimes it spins and we don't engage. Sometimes, well, you better think about that. You need to worry about that. If you don't think about that, something bad is going to happen. If you don't think about that and how you're going to react to that when it happens, then it's not going to go well. That's the
Mm.
underlying story of all these sort of fears that are trying to demand your attention. And if it doesn't
Mm.
go well, then, you might lose your house or your wife.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those things. There's a lot of those things in modern society. If you don't have a virus protector on your computer, you might lose your computer in code. So don't you worry about that? These all pile up. These all pile up and they snare. They go around, mental processes. You just look around and you're enjoying stuff. And then what about your taxes? Did you get your license taken care of? Just all these little things that just snare. Worried I'll forget.
Mm.
So
Yeah, if
you go
if
ahead.
there is that strong belief that I am this person, I'm real, I'm here, then that may seem to those thoughts may seem to affect that one. If you take yourself to be a real separate self, real person, then those things that may seem to arise, may seem to affect you. But it's only affecting the imagination, the idea you have of what you are, not what you really are. What you really are can never really be affected by those things. It's a
Yeah.
thought construct that says, I'm this person. That's just a thought. There's no real separate self, separate person.
So on
So
our
if
journey,
that seems to be,
no, go ahead, please.
yeah, if there seems to be that strong identification with the body, which is also what is appearing as that, there may seem to be fear that may seem to arise that, oh, I don't want to lose my life. I don't want to lose my life as this body. I don't want to lose my house, to lose my family, because there's that imagination that's oh, I'm real, I'm here, I'm Charles. It's too strong. That seems to be believed in. So if we look right now to see whether is real, that's somebody who separates is really there. We couldn't find anybody. There is nobody there. Those thoughts, they seem to appear, they may seem to stick because there is that strong identification with the body. So they may seem to stick. But when there is no identification, it is recognized that there's nobody here, then nothing will stick. They may appear, things will seem to be getting done effortlessly, you know. If you have to go and pay for bills, you go pay for bills, but there's nobody there doing anything. It's just what's happening. There is no identification with this body.
So there's no identification with this body, and there's strong identification with this body. But there's a continuum. Right? You get snared constantly, never get snared, snared occasionally, rarely snared, still snared sometimes.
Yeah,
Still snared sometimes,
yeah. You know, just by looking right now, the seeing as it is, this seeing behind those eyes is not a man or a woman. It's not a human being. It's just seeing. It's neutral. But there may seem to be a thought that says, I'm this body. So thoughts come after. That's neutral seeing is already there. But thoughts, they may seem to be imposed in that and say, oh, I'm this body. But underneath that, there is that seeing, which is nobody, which is nothing. It's just there. The thinking may seem to appear in it. It's not that there's somebody who's doing the thinking. There's no doer of thinking. It's appearing. It's just appearing and disappearing in that empty space. Sensation may seem to arise, may seem to be felt in the body, and they may seem to disappear. Everything appears and disappears. Everything appears and disappears in that which is not appearing or disappearing. It's just there, constant. It doesn't change. It watches the mind going crazy. Oh, I need to do this and that. Oh, I'm going to fail. I'm not going to make it. That's already happening in that empty space, which is not happening. It's just there, watching without interest, without desire. That's what you are, not the appearances. Of course, the appearances are part of what you are, but not the real you. They're always there. They're more like space. So I can say there's no you, there's just empty space. There's nobody needs.
That's what I was trying to get at in Nkosi was did you have any advice for those times? We get snagged in fear. And I guess your answer would be take a minute and realize what you really are.
Yeah. There's just perception. You are not the object in the perception. We're just the perception. They may seem to be appearances. Anything may appear and disappear. And the attention may seem to identify with what seems to appear and say, oh, I'm this dog. This is what I am. But when the attention is focused on that space, then it is recognized that there's just empty space. There's just spaciousness. And even what seems to be appearances is also spaciousness appearing as that. So there is no separation. There's no real separation.
You hear
So
music in the background?
no,
Okay, good. I don't want any copyright infringement. Melissa's blaring music while she does the dishes.
oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
What kind of music she likes?
She likes this band that she grew up listening to called Duran Duran. They're terrible. No, they're not terrible. They're okay. It's just they're okay the first like 300 times you hear them.
Yeah. I like the background there. It's very nice. It's
It's
very
just our
nice.
curtains.
Yeah,
It is nice, isn't it?
yeah, it's very nice. Mm. And as well, in those edited videos, they it looks good as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've posted a couple of them, and yeah, people seem to like as well.
Yeah. How much time do you spend editing these videos after we do them? Take you a couple hours?
Yeah, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I usually do our videos and as well as the ones that I do with Alice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I usually have a break in between. Then I'll start over again and just continue listening. Yeah. I also heard that some they listen to these videos like every day, every day.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awesome. You know, when I was in college, that's what I wanted to do for a living was make videos, make movies and stuff. Some of my friends went on to make movies, be movie makers. You know, I did a lot of editing. I really enjoyed editing videos. But back then, it was very,
Yeah.
very hard. You know, you had to have tape, multiple tapes, and to get cuts and stuff. You had to set it up, and it was very difficult to do.
Mm.
uh, so I feel a little guilty that I'm not able to spend time to help you to do all this. This is kind of
It's
my forte.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. I also enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. Yeah. I enjoy doing it. My brother is visiting the States.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I think there's a project that he's doing. So he left he left today, took a flight to Joburg, and then from Joburg uh to Dubai, then
Yeah, you
from
got to go through
Dubai to
Dubai.
I don't know.
That's an
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, you can't just go right here from Africa. You got to go through Dubai. It's an insane airport.
Yeah.
So then, where's he going from Dubai?
Mm, I forgot the name of the states, but what I heard that is gonna um, visit New York as well. That is when he will be preparing to go back to move back to South Africa.
Is he going to Washington D.C.?
I'm not really sure. I will have to ask him. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then yeah, I will let you know. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to DC in a couple weeks. We'll have to move our meeting because I'll be on a plane. But if he's there at the same time, it would be really amazing to see him.
Yeah.
He'd probably be
Wonderful.
like, "So you talk to my brother every week? What? Why?"
Uh, he doesn't really understand what's going on. They always hear me like when they used to be here before they left, before they bought their own house. Uh, they never really understood what I was talking about. They would say at times, "You're crazy."
Did he ever watch any of the videos? Probably not, huh?
He used to watch them when I posted them in
Oh,
the
wow.
those, when yeah. But he would comment and say, "You're out of your mind."
What is his what is his professional area?
He's a musician.
Oh, he's a musician.
He's a musician, so yeah, he is. I think they are going there to do the who's gonna be playing to the background to the Lion King thing. I don't know, but
The
I'm
Lion
still gonna
King?
find out. And yeah, it's something like that.
On like Broadway?
Yeah, yeah, but I would have to talk to him and find out all the details.
That's like a really big deal. That sounds like
Yeah,
a really big deal to me.
yeah.
What's he does he sing or what's his
Um, I think he arranges the music, you know, the
wow.
yeah, he deals with the keyboard, instruments, bass guitar.
So he's like a producer then?
Yeah, normally here in South Africa, he is a producer. He produces there's some well-known artists that he used to produce for. Yeah. Yeah, he likes music. He likes jazz, gospel. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to meet him. I'm not gonna be in New York, but I'll be in DC in mid-May. Let me know when he's gonna be here and where he's going.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to him today just to find maybe he's still in the flights. I'll talk to him today and find out where he is. Yeah. Maybe you're gonna meet each other, just like I met
Martha
Charlie.
and Charlie. Strange world. Yeah.
How is he anyway?
I haven't talked to him too much. He seems like he's doing okay. His mother's not doing great, but he's spending a lot of time taking care of his mom. So that's good. His wife's hometown got kind of destroyed. She's from a small city in Turkey, and the earthquake. So that was a big thing.
So was it a strong earthquake or just
Yeah, it's really bad.
minor?
Yeah, it happened a couple months ago. She didn't know anybody that died, but it's still sort of like, a lot of her hometown things that she knew are gone. I've spent a lot of time in areas with disasters where things have just been destroyed. And It feels like God has escaped. The land. I don't know. There's like just this aura around the devastation, you know, almost like energy released or something. Mm.
Yeah, things may seem to be destroyed. You know, things may seem to fall apart. War, bodies, um, but life can never be destroyed. Life that emanates everything can never really be destroyed. When the body collapses, life recognizes itself that it has never been anything separate. It has always been life everywhere as it is. So to that's imagination of being somebody or what seems to be the me. It may seem as if no, there's so much destruction, people are dying, or what a mess. But that's too is also life appearing and death. So life as well also recognizes itself that it has never been anything else. It has always been life. So there's no, everything is okay, everything is fine.
This life, it's got patterns. May not exist, but it has patterns. It has patterns. You know what I mean? By patterns, well, what comes up must go down. Things live, they get old, they die. Seasons. For every force, there's an equal and opposite force.
Yeah.
Karma. All that stuff is still there, even if it's not real. It's it plays by it plays by rules. Don't you think? Or do you think I'm the rule? I bring the rules.
Yeah, but it's also life appearing as that too. So it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't really mind itself. It doesn't really mind. When it is seen that there's nobody in the body, there's just an everything, then nothing matters. Nothing matters. Who is there to suffer? Who's the sufferer? If it's seen that the sufferer is just a dog, then what a relief.
I mean, I was talking more about the forces of nature. Physics. But yes, your point still holds. Nature doesn't mind. Nature doesn't mind the winter.
Yeah. And the tree, like for instance, the tree doesn't mind when the leaves are falling off. Doesn't mind when the fruits they seem to grow or they fall off. It doesn't. It's just there. It's not waiting. It's not expecting for the fruits to grow or for the branches to grow. It's just there.
Or when there's not enough water and it dies. Or when there's too much water and it falls over.
Hmm.
Doesn't mind.
Some they do meditation, just focusing on the tree. It's removing the label that it's a tree. Then there's so much uh, uh, what's the word? So much
Presence,
freedom there.
freedom.
Yes, freedom. Yeah. Sometimes uh, the label may seem to make things to seem redundant, to be oh, it's just a tree, like But when you look deeper and just remove the label, the name, you see things as they really are.
On the other side of me here is a closet door. See it?
Yes, yes, I
I
can see
just
it.
I stare at that closet door, and that closet door is so ugly to me. You know, that gold,
Yeah.
fakey gold doorknob is so chintzy, and the paint is just too thick and too white. The door is a bad angle. Seems like bad construction. But when I sit here and talk to you, I just stare on the other side of the computer sometimes, and
Mm.
that stupid, ugly doorknob seems to have presence.
Mm.
It seems to be alive. Seems to be watching me. The ugly thing just is imbued with beauty.
Mm.
We talk as if it was a flower.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
even the dust is beautiful.
This
The
morning,
stone, the tree.
this
Mm.
morning that you know, you have all that. It's like this canopy of green, leaves, and then all the trees. So many of them, you can't tell where one starts and one stops. Just wood whirling around itself. And the light goes through the trees, um, and then it comes down in silos, right? Because it only pierces the canopy in certain locations. You can see. It's like those pictures of God in the heaven. You can actually see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sunbeams coming down through the. And as I sit there in the sunbeams, even in the forest, it's just dust. That it will just float around. You know. Sometimes it doesn't even, and you look at that, it's like, is that a bug? No, that's just dust. And sometimes it just doesn't fall and it just goes around and makes these beautiful patterns in sort of the thick, still air and the sunbeams through the forest. Just gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before. There's a sunbeam, and then there's dust that seems to float in
Yeah.
the sunbeam. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. I was
I
watching it
think I've
this
seen
morning. It
that
was just
before.
amazing because it's so huge. I mean, it's not like just like what you would see in a room with a few feet, because the tree canopies are like 50 feet to 100 feet tall. So just a huge, long coming down to where I'm
Wow,
sitting. It's just amazing.
wow, beautiful, beautiful.
Sometimes I sit there and it's so beautiful, and then I get my camera out and I try to take a picture of something or take a little movie. It's never as it's always like what I can see just never gets to the phone. There's no way you're gonna get the beauty of a piece of dust dancing in the stillness.
Yeah.
You just can't get it.
So when you record it there, you don't find those details like when you are looking at it as it is. Oh,
Anything that's in the distance, gets squinched to like my eyes can see, you know, a beautiful, you know, uh, I don't know, a stream 200 feet away, right? I can see the way the stream goes through. I can see the rocks. To me, it's very clear with my eyes, but if you take a picture of a phone, you can be able to see it at all. It's just too far. The way that the lens works just can't pick it up. Or if it's like a piece of dust, you can't focus on it, right? The phone's going to focus on the nearest thing that it can really hit, which is going to be the tree in the background. So you're not going to be able to focus on the sunbeam, and it's not going to capture the sunbeam anyway. It's not going to have that subtlety. It'd be able to capture the difference of the sunbeam and the leaves a little bit, but not just the standing beam of light. Wouldn't get it.
yeah, yeah, I
So if you
get
look
it.
at Renaissance paintings, a lot of times Renaissance paintings have beams of light that come down and oil in these oil paintings. You know what I mean? And Jesus might be in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
But you can't get it. It's very difficult to get it with a camera. Certainly not just, my phone camera. So sometimes when I
Yeah.
take the pictures I send to you, I mess with the color to try to get the color to match what I see because it's so amazing. You know, even the color on the phone will do things to try to match, you know, what it thinks is skin tone or what it thinks is a building or what it thinks that people really want to see. So a lot of times nature actually gets kind of messed up. So you have to kind of go through and mess with the contrast and everything to get it to make to look more like the way what you
Yeah,
really see looks like. But it's just amazing. When I just go off to that area, it's just there's no one there. It's beauty everywhere, everywhere you look. And
wow.
sometimes when I sit there, I think about, what it must have been to be hunter, you know. So much
Yeah,
of human life was just doing exactly that, scanning. Because I find myself scanning the trees, you know. I've got no reason to scan the trees.
Mm,
But, obviously, if you were trying to catch something to eat, that's what you would be doing. And
yeah,
people must have just been doing that all day until it was time to run after something. That
yeah.
seems like a better job. I
It
want that
must
job.
have been beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm.
Spending all our times in the forests.
Are there insects there?
Huh?
Insects.
Insects.
Yeah.
I bring a big there's these things called ticks, these little tiny bugs that will burrow into your skin and
Mm,
suck your blood. And they can make you really sick. Some of them carry a disease that makes you really sick. So I carry a big sheet out now, and I put the sheet over a log, and then I put
mm,
a little pillow behind my back, so I'm sitting right on the ground, but then my back is supported a little bit, so that I can see if anything, if a tick gets starts to crawl on me, so that I don't get ticks. But I see moles. You know what moles are?
mm. Um,
These ugly little blind rats, yucky teeth.
oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
They
Those
go,
they're white in color.
huh?
Are they white in color? Yeah.
Usually white, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they're gray.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
This
yeah, I
really
think
ugly
I
little
know.
things. So those are where I am, there's a lot of them that burrow underneath the passages. So I see some baby moles sometimes. They're really weird looking. Um, beavers, I think I told you about beavers. I think beavers are
Yeah,
just
yeah.
from North America. I think that's the only place that there's beavers. Um, but yeah, sometimes but it's not a whole lot, not a whole lot of bugs. I go early in the morning, and a lot of the bugs that bite come out later. But when I
Mm,
work in my yard, there's a ton of bugs, wasps and bees, and tend to be in the grass and everything. But for some reason, out there in the forest, for the most time, they don't bug me. They don't, you know,
yeah.
there's not that much. Yeah. I've never seen a fish. you know, I go to this area where two big streams merge into a third stream. And in the area that I'm at, I think I've taken pictures. There's like these big concrete blocks where you can walk across stream, but the water usually ends up just flowing over the concrete blocks. And I've never seen a fish. It's the strangest thing. It's like they're the fishless stream. I don't understand it. And I've looked, you know. Are you still there? Uh-oh. Are you there, Nkosi? You froze.
Yeah, I think it's of the network. Yeah, that's okay now. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel incredibly lucky. When I go out there, just to be surrounded by such beauty. And I mean, it's just no one else around.
Wow.
Nobody else around. About 5 years ago, I discovered that I really liked to look at pictures of forests and trees. So I had some pictures that I had taken myself, and I put them on my computer screen, on my home screen, in the background,
Yeah.
and I put it, on my other monitor so I'd be able to see it. And I set it up so it would rotate through, you know,
Wow.
and I would just use that to bring some peace to my day. And now all of a sudden, just everywhere in the morning as much as I ever want, you know. And I don't even have to go walking out there, just even on my backyard, like 50, 60 feet. I've got my own little forested area where it's just surrounded, you know. It's wonderful.
Wow. Yeah, I was also planning to use those. Remember those pictures that you gave to me recently? I was also planning to use them as the background when I edit the videos because that app that I use it gives you an option to select the photos. Yeah,
Huh?
they're very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just feels like magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was young in junior high, so I don't know, junior high is like 13, 14 years old. I went
Yeah.
to I went to a junior high where if I took buses to the junior high, it took me 45 minutes to get there. But because of the way that the city was set up, I could walk through a park and a graveyard and then a big, big forested park and get to my high school in about 25 minutes. So,
Wow.
um, most of the time it was too cold, or the weather was too bad to actually walk to high school. But in the fall and the spring, I could walk to high school and spend a lot of time walking through those forests. Just loved it, loved it, loved it.
Mhm. So it was very quiet.
Yes,
Mm.
it's alone.
Yeah, the forest is beautiful. When you hear those bugs, the sound of the bugs,
Oh yeah,
the birds,
frogs.
you know. Yeah.
You have frogs?
Yeah, frogs. Yeah. They also make those sounds like they are singing in the choir. There's a rhythm there.
It gets so loud. It's gorgeous out here. Frogs. The frogs don't make any noise in the winter. Frogs are silent in the winter here, but they've just come out for the spring, so we now hear the frogs again.
Mm.
So it's your fall?
Sorry?
It's right now, it's your fall. It's getting colder a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting colder. Then that's why I'm always wearing. Yeah. So it's getting colder. Yeah. I think it's gonna be winter time very soon. It's
But when
gonna
it's
be
wintertime, it
winter.
doesn't get very cold anyway, right?
Yeah, it doesn't get very
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
Only on those mountains, huge mountains, mountain areas, they usually get snow. Yeah.
How
But
close are the
here,
mountains?
from where I live, quite very far, very far.
500 miles, 1,000 miles?
Um,
A different part of South Africa.
yeah, different part of South Africa.
You can't see
Like for
them or you
instance,
can see them?
the mother of my child lives, there's a huge mountain there, huge mountain. It has a hotel on top. It's very
So
huge
you can
and
see
it's
it.
very cool.
You can see it.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I can
from your
see it.
house, you can see mountains.
Yeah, but when I move up a little bit, and then on the road, and then I can see the
Yeah.
mountains. But they are very flat, those flat ones on top.
Plateaus, yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. I think you're freezing.
Uh-oh. You see me now? Oh no, now you're frozen.
Yeah,
It froze again.
yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna let you go, Nkosi. I'm gonna go get some ice cream. You can go walk your
Okay.
auntie to the
What
bus
time
stop.
is it there?
It's 9:08 p.m.
Oh yeah.
It's almost time for bed.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you
Okay,
so much. Yeah. Thank you so much.
thank you. Say hi to your
Yeah.
aunt for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do just that. I'll do just that. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll talk to my brother and find out
Oh,
where he is, and then I'll get back to you as well.
okay, good. I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Bye.